How's it going, everyone? Today I want to talk about this little thing we got going on, and maybe you've heard about it, maybe you haven't, about MrBeast. He's like one of the biggest YouTubers. I'm not real familiar with this stuff. I've seen a few of his videos, and it is what it is. I don't know what you think about him, but you know, there's this thing of online philanthropy, however you say it, right? You know, the haves helping the have-nots, if you will. And supposedly there is, you know, he's being at risk of being canceled because he went and built 100 wells in Africa. And, you know, how much of that is true, you know, it's hard to say. You know, it's... this is, so far from what I can find, is most of the claims that he's going to be canceled for is like self-proclaimed. You know, I don't know how, but there is, you know, it seems like there's a little bit to what he's saying. Here we have, let's check this out real quick. One of these, hold on a minute. From news.com, there's other news. You know, you can go on here, you can go online and look it up, and there's several articles about it. You know, MrBeast, you know, so the big one right now is he built 100 wells in Africa, and there's some criticism he's facing, and the unforgivable charity, like National Review says, unforgivable charity, and CNN, MrBeast builds 100 wells in Africa, attracting praise and some criticism. And the one I'm gonna look at is I mean, we could look at all of them, but I've already read a few articles. And then you got news.com. Ridiculous reaction to kind white male, right, act. And that's one I'll click on for this video. I've read a few articles that they all basically say the same thing, and what they're claiming here is that MrBeast is getting criticism and faces the possibility of being canceled due to his generous act of philanthropy in Africa. And so let's take a look at this for a minute. What they're saying here is the world of online philanthropy is no stranger to controversy, and it seems that YouTuber MrBeast, whose real name is Jimmy Donaldson, has fallen victim to the phenomenon of being canceled. Right? Canceled, they're saying. And now, before I go too much further on that, I've looked at several articles, because I seen a thing pop up on X, which I keep saying Twitter, and that's what I'm going to call it. And you can call it what you want, but it's Twitter. It's just more ridiculous shit. They change the name, you know. But formerly known as Twitter, I seen a thing pop up there, and I'm like, oh, what is this? It said YouTuber, you know, helping out Africa and catching criticism. So I clicked on it, and it's MrBeast. And I'm not saying nothing pro or against MrBeast. He's a huge YouTuber, probably like one of the biggest, probably maybe the biggest, with like over 200 million subscribers on one channel, and I don't know what he's got on his other channel, but he's known for doing these things. And I seen one that is questionable. You know, I understand where some criticism might come from, and but not always, you know. But you know, you might question some stuff, but it is what it is. Are you still helping people? You know, I look at the views of how we're taught by the Bible, and it's, you know, we're not supposed to be doing stuff for public acknowledgement. You know, you do it in quiet. If your heart's really in it, you do it in quiet. You're not looking for the praise. And I'm not saying that he's looking for the praise of it, and you know, how much he might make off these videos. I'm not going to judge on that, but what I've seen happening with his thing, and like I say, I've seen a few videos where he goes around to help people out with this or that, and it's kind of makes you question some things, because I'm like, wow, you're throwing these people out there with these problems or whatever. But down here in Africa, I'm not seeing it that way. It's just a good thing, I suppose. You know, but is he really being threatened with cancellation? As far as I can find, everything I've looked into, that's his own self-proclamation, right? That's his own self saying that. And one thing I want to touch on is we got a lot of big YouTubers, the bigger channels seem to be doing that. And, you know, being censored out and being canceled is a real thing. And we know that, and we've seen that, right? But like someone like me struggling to get anywhere with, you know, 300, right now it's 312 subscribers. I just lost 2, probably because of some of my views that I put out there, but whatever, it is what it is, right? You know, I'm struggling, hoping to get 1,000 right now, you know, but these people, but I come from a long years of running my website, which has been heavily censored for the last several years now, right? For more than a decade now. It used to be a real strong, heavily viewed website, and now it struggles, and because of the censorship. And the truth is, if they want to censor you out, they don't have to cancel you. They can use their algorithms these days to just knock down your views and make sure nobody even sees what you're putting out there, and which may be what I've already got going on with this channel. I'm hoping not, you know, but it is what it is. But I am working hard to try to get this channel going, and I certainly, you know, am not expecting to ever hit 200 million subscribers, or 2 million, whatever, you know, to the extent of MrBeast. You know, that'd be awesome if I could, you know, but, you know, I'm being realistic at what's going on with me on my channel, and I'm not going to cut on what, but only thing I'm saying is sometimes these people do this, and this is a possibility, because sometimes I'm noticing some of these channels with bigger, the bigger channels with a good amount of subscribers, they start to hit a slump in their own stuff, and so they start to come out and say, oh, I'm about to be canceled, or oh, they're censoring me too bad, really bad, and that very well could be, or maybe it isn't, you know. But sometimes I notice they seem to do that to get the pity party going, and to get and it draws more traffic and more to their, you know, site, you know, or to their videos, or, you know, whatever they're doing to their accounts. And is that what, I don't know, was he maybe starting to fall on viewership, and he comes out and says this, or, you know, or comes out and says this to get a lot of people to go and view his video? I don't know. I never heard nothing about it until I seen it posted on X, that he was in danger of being canceled. And far as I can tell from everything I've looked into, is mostly that's just him and some of his followers claiming that. And I'm not, you know, who knows, but let's go ahead and go on with that. Donaldson initiated an ambitious project to fund the construction of 100 wells across Africa to provide clean drinking water to an estimated 500,000 people across several African communities like Cameroon, Kenya, Somalia, Uganda, and Zimbabwe. Alongside this initiative, an associated fundraiser has successfully generated over $300,000 to aid local water assistance organizations. While such philanthropic endeavor might seem commendable, it unexpectedly ignited a storm of backlash and criticism, particularly from Kenyan activists and journalists. They raised concerns about the unintended implications and impacts of Donaldson's actions. First of all, let's say this. Have you heard about this? You know, like I say, I never heard nothing about it till I seen the thing posted on X. It's not like big news that, oh, he's all this backlash against him for for doing this. Is there some maybe going on in Africa? Very well could be, especially if you pay attention to what goes on there in Africa. You know, I'm not trying to say that that's not what's going on over there, but it doesn't seem to be very much criticism, actually, you know. However, the reaction to MrBeast's project was not one-sided, with one fan calling the reaction ridiculous. And it is. If you're reacting in a negative way to this, I mean, we could say maybe he's doing this for whatever his reasons are, but the truth is, it is helping these poor people over there in Africa. It's helping them to get good, clean drinking water. So, you know, if you're saying something negative towards that, well, shame on you, you know, no matter who or where you're from. The real thing that makes these activists mad is that MrBeast solved a problem for very little money and in very little time, and that by doing it so cheaply and quickly, it highlighted the inefficiency and graft of the existing organization's solutions. The fan commented on social media, and that's true, you know. And one of the primary points of contention was that his project overshadowed the long-standing efforts of local organizations and activists who had been tirelessly working towards the same goal. You know, and that could be, you know, we'll get to that. Sarah Kaba-Jones, the founder of FACE Africa, expressed a mixture of frustration and understanding, stating, "I've been doing it for 15 years, but we've been struggling to continue the work because funding, awareness, and advocacy all take work." You know, I'm going to stop this article right there because right now, you know, we'll just go on with what I'm talking about. Well, let's finish. Hold on there. Overnight, this person comes along who happens to be a white male figure with a huge platform, and all of a sudden, he gets all the attention. It's kind of frustrating, but it's also understanding the nature of how the world is. So let's stop right there. So, you know, it's frustrating to them that some white male, they always got to bring this nonsense out. Some white male figure comes along with a huge platform and all of a sudden they get attention. You're just upset that you're not getting all this attention for your hard work down there for 15 years. You know, and I understand that can be frustrating, and maybe you want a little acknowledgement or, you know, some things that go your way a little better. I can agree with that. But, you know, we got to get off this nonsense. It's always, every time you turn around, this nonsense about they want to play this black and white card, you know, the black versus white thing. And it's ridiculous because if you want to, you know, let's just look at, it's not that this guy takes his, whatever, his philanthropy, you know, and takes it upon and goes over to Africa and builds 100 wells in no time, you know, clean drinking water. You got to commend that. How can you not? What we need to look at is, you know, and what Sarah Jones's problem is what she's looking at is the people she's working with, and it's very likely the African government over there is preventing efforts, and the very rich are preventing efforts. You know, there's people that want to, I guess, compare. There's some people comparing MrBeast to Mr. Gates, you know, and we all know who Mr. Gates really is, and he's over there injecting people and causing them more problems, and that's what the super rich do. And then you come over here to America and you figure, you know, as great as a country as America is, we should have very few problems. We should all be able to help out other countries, right? But that's not the truth. The truth is you got the haves over here creating haves-nots. Ask me how I know, you know? That's what I'm going to say about that. Because over here, you know, some of us maybe have never been really rich or whatever, but we've been good enough off and content to where we're at, and then along comes certain officials, the haves of the community, because of whatever they want to create a problem for you because of whatever you've done to upset them, and they turn you into a have-not, right? So that's what the real problem is. It's not black and white. The people who came against me are white against white, you know, and as many times blacks cause problems for the whites and whites cause problems. It's just people, the haves, causing problems for the have-nots. And that's what my biggest thing is what we don't realize in this world. It just so happens that the people you cause some problems for happen to be black, or the people you cause problems for happen to be white, you know, of a different nationality than you, a different color than you. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's all like some kind of racist thing going on. You know, MrBeast didn't put up 100 wells overnight just because he's some white man. You know, he did it because he's a person with money and had the heart to go over there and do it. And whatever his reasonings are, you know, he's the one that chose to decide to go over there and do it. And meanwhile, we got how many whites doing things over there. You know, we got Gates over there getting all this praise, and he'll take computers in there and inject people with the jabs, you know, and it's really causing problems, but he ain't doing nothing to erect wells for good cleaning water. He ain't doing nothing to install electricity. He ain't doing nothing for the betterment of them people. He's doing this stuff saying it's for their health, and it's killing them off, you know, while they're starving to death already, you know, and then he injects them with stuff to speed up the process. That's what's going on with most of your rich people's philanthropy, you know, and I don't even know their donations, whatever. This is what they do to praise themselves. But the truth is, most of them, the very rich, like Mr. Gates, you can take Mr. Soros, Mr. Musk, you know, Elon Musk. What about his stuff? He's from Africa. What is he doing? He takes his billions of dollars and invests it back into himself. And that's what Gates does. They call it philanthropy because they donate to whatever organization. It turns out they're the head of that organization, right? That's what Soros does. That's what Gates does. And that's, you know, and, you know, people want to praise Elon Musk, but he's from Africa. What's he doing to help Africa out? You know, and, you know, but you take the people with the heart, like me, myself, I'm sitting on a really great invention that I've told very few people about, because you got to, you know, otherwise somebody steal it from you. But I've got a super great invention that is life-changing, that will change things for the world, and that people like Africa could very much use. But we could use it all anywhere in this in this world. It would be helpful. And Mr. Musk, it would help with his endeavors to go to Mars, even though we're never going to Mars. We're never getting off this planet. I guarantee that. And we never have, and we never are. And there's, you know, if you want to believe the fake ass shit that we've been off this planet, that we've been past into outer space, you're wrong. You know, we've never even been to the moon. And anyways, that's a subject for a different matter. But my point is, the very super rich, what are they doing? They're giving themselves all a pat on the back, claiming that they're helping people out and they're doing this and they're doing that. And the truth is, they're doing nothing but taking their money and donating it to their own organizations, so that money comes right back to them, right? So you know, how are you gonna say something bad about MrBeast creating these wells? You know, that's one thing I want to say. So so I want to go over to his channel and we'll take a little look at what he's got going on here.
This is the first of 100 wells we're gonna build in this video. Oh, water! Oh, crap! You just witnessed a small village in Kenya get access to unlimited clean drinking water in less than a second. One down, 99 more wells in Africa to go. You're gonna love this video. Combined, these 100 wells are gonna give around 500,000 people fresh water to drink. And after building some more wells on this side of Kenya, we flew south to the school system of Nairiri. And let's just say, they were really happy to see us. How's it going? I was not expecting this. Thank you for the welcome. I'm not even sure how to react. I appreciate it, everybody. This village threw a welcome ceremony upon our arrival, and Nolan got really into it. Nolan's the most awkward person I've ever met, and that's a lot coming from me. And after being shown around the school...
Yeah, comes our guest.
How's it going? Oh, you having a good day? It's nice meeting you. One of the teachers showed me where the students currently get their water, which is from this river. That's extremely unsafe to drink. This is where your students used to get water from?
Yes.
This is crazy.
Yeah. You know, students complaining of diarrhea, infections like typhoid, because this is the water we've been using. So we try to treat, but you see, look at it, you know, but at the end of the day, life has to move on. You have to get some water anyway.
This situation is obviously extremely sad. These children's lives are being limited and sometimes cut short from being forced to drink unsafe water. But at least for this village, we're gonna put an end to it right now. I don't think this is
Okay, so, so pretty much I'll leave a link in the description to his video on that, and the truth is, all you gotta do is type in MrBeast, and maybe most of you are already subscribed to him, I don't know, and it'll come up. But if you want to watch that full video, my thing is, how is anybody gonna condemn that? How is anybody gonna condemn that? These people, he shows where he went to, also to Zimbabwe and to, all these, Uganda, and they built over 100 wells, and they helped rebuild a bridge. They're helping these people in Africa, and, maybe he's got nefarious reasons, I don't know, but the truth of the matter is, this is helping those people, and they need that. And so, you can't condemn that. How could anybody condemn that? But so my thing is, what about the rest of the rich people? Where are they chipping in that? There's no reason that these areas in Africa should be this bad off. There's no reason. For, I think back for as long as I've been alive, I think back from the time I was a kid that they're still facing the same problems that they've been facing all of this time. Starvation, disease, and all this stuff because they don't got access to good, clean, healthy water, or a lot of the other things that we take for granted these days, right? And that's what's wrong with the world. You take the wars going on. We got war going on in Israel now that we're being a part of, and our billions of dollars of our money is going over to support that. Then you take Ukraine, billions of dollars plus equipment, soldiers, and everything else going to support these wars, and but they're saying that in the name of freedom. You know what? The truth is, and I've said this for years, how come our military hasn't been dispatched over to Africa? Huh? If you want to help democracy and help freedom, how come we haven't been dispatched over to Africa? Because years ago, we probably should have been years ago already. And how many years would it take to build, if he could build 100 that fast of these wells, how many could we send our troops over there to protect those people and to make sure they're getting the supplies that are being donated? And how many wells could we have? Africa could be totally changed, for the bad areas over there in Africa. But then you consider these rich scumbags that give themselves a pat on the back and do everything to glorify themselves for you, but what are they doing? Well, the super rich. Hold on, take on Elon Musk. He's from Africa, right? And then you take Barack Obama. He's from Africa. These people, and how many other rich people are from Africa, but not a dime of their money goes to help Africa. You just take all these rich people, all the super rich. If each one of them would just donate enough to build a couple wells each, how could that change the whole landscape for Africa and the livelihoods for? It's because they don't. They want to kill people off, and there's genocide going all over this world. And as once again I say, you take a look at, I just judge things off my case. When you got the haves purposely creating haves-nots, they're purposely wreaking havoc on people's lives on purpose to ruin people's lives. They're not trying to help people. And, so how are you going to jump in and criticize MrBeast for what he's doing? And like I said, there could be whatever, but is he going to get canceled over this? I highly doubt it. Now that, now we got news reports just because his self-proclaimed thing says he'll get canceled and he don't care if he does because of it. Personally, I think maybe that's a little ploy to get a little more attention to your channel. But otherwise, I don't condone anyone criticizing what's going. If you want to criticize, start criticizing the rich scumbags that ain't doing more to help out. Not just Africa, but all the other places. You know, instead, we're focused on going to war and killing people and making life a whole lot worse for people. You know why? They want to drop the population, and that's clear, right? But anyways, that's all I really got to say about that. And let me know your thoughts in the comments. And otherwise, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it very much. And we'll talk to you later.